New Zealand has banned flights from India temporarily. It's the first time the government stopped Kiwis from coming home. It comes as India experiences a huge surge in cases of COVID-19. In this country, there were 23 new cases in managed isolation today. 17 of them came from India. There was also one new community case, a border worker at the Grand Millennium Hotel in Auckland. The 24-year-old was not vaccinated. Investigations reporter Michael Morra begins our coverage.
In India, COVID-19 is raging. More than 126,000 new cases were reported in a single day there this week, a new record. The risk there presents a risk to New Zealand.
I'm announcing that we are temporarily suspending entry into New Zealand for travellers from India.
Well, that is a smart move, and it is actually, frankly, something we should have been doing quite a long time ago from countries where the pandemic is clearly completely out of control.
Nick Wilson and his colleagues have been advocating for reducing numbers from red zone countries for 6 months.
The government has moved way too slowly on this particular issue.
It'll be a 2-week suspension starting this Sunday for a fortnight.
The fact that we're seeing these cases arrive in large numbers at the border is obviously telling us about the progress of the epidemic in India. This may need to continue for longer.
There were 23 new cases of COVID in managed isolation today. 17 were Kiwis who had returned here from India.
While arrivals with COVID from India has prompted this measure, we are looking at how we manage high-risk points of departure generally.
The Director General said part of that could mean separating arrivals into a single hotel to reduce the chance of mixing.
We could put everyone who's travelled from India in one facility.
Officials don't put the high numbers of positives out of India down to fake pre-departure tests. Rather, it's thought people are getting the virus on the way to the airports in Mumbai and Delhi. The 7-day rolling average of cases in India is 93,000 cases a day. The United States, 64,000, and Brazil, 63,000. Brazil also recorded more than 4,000 deaths yesterday for the first time.
Maybe there's other places like Brazil that would meet such a threshold for suspending travel.
On the same day we had this surge of cases in MIQ, a 24-year-old security guard at the Grand Millennium also got the virus. It's not the first time the Grand Millennium has been in the spotlight. A cleaner at the hotel was infected with COVID-19 last month, and now there are more questions about whether the infection control procedures here are as robust as officials claim they are.
I'm confident that our procedures are very good.
Professor Wilson disagrees.
We've seen now 14 border failures since July last year. That is far too many.
He says tougher rules are needed to shut out the virus and improve systems at our MIQs, especially if we want to ensure the upcoming Trans-Tasman bubble is a success.
Michael, what other measures is the government considering to try and keep COVID out?
Yeah, well, there's actually a list of possibilities. The government could be looking at having people sign a declaration that they've been isolating before travel and requiring people to have a nasal swab as the pre-departure test, which of course is the most accurate type of swab. Currently, the throat swab is accepted as evidence of the pre-departure swab. Now, here in New Zealand, they're of course looking at separating people from high-risk countries into special isolation hotels, basically so they don't interact with people from low-risk countries. But look, epidemiologists like Nick Wilson have told me for some time now that we could be going further than this. We could be getting daily saliva tests of our MIQ workers. We could get rid of smoking and exercise areas, and we could consider purpose-built quarantine facilities outside of our country's biggest city.